What's up, guys? Welcome back to Patriot Specialized. Wednesday. Today is Wednesday morning. It's about 7:45 in the morning. Currently sitting at the Case New Holland crop test facility in New Holland, Pennsylvania. Picking up a combine, going on to Missouri. But man, this getting to this combine has been an event. So stick around. We're going to talk about that.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, still horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys.
All right, so real quick, I'll give you a recap of the last couple of days. This has been a nothing super crazy, but definitely been a challenge, both scheduling and getting what I scheduled done, because I got bigger eyes than logbook, I think. So what happened there Monday morning? You saw in the last episode, I delivered a generator down to Youngstown, Ohio. Went home for the weekend. I live about 45 minutes from there. Went home for the weekend, and I was supposed to. That afternoon, I was supposed to pick up a truck chassis going to Coatesville, Pennsylvania. They couldn't get a part or something for part of it. They couldn't get the part anyways, and it didn't go on Friday, so they thought it was going to go on Monday. And so I said, no big deal, whatever. I got one of my beacons up on top of the truck, my strobe lights. It quit working, so I said I'll run to the shop Monday morning, get that fixed real quick, and then I'll come down and pick that thing up. Hopefully it'll be ready. So I ran to the shop Monday morning. Eric fixed my light. It turns out that I have a cell phone booster antenna up there, which boosts my cell phone signal. We all know how that works. And the antenna had broke. I must have got a tree branch or something, and it had broke, but it only broke part of it, and it was leaning back, and it was rubbing on my light bar. So it actually rubbed a hole in the plastic of my light bar, and water was getting in there. So of course, once water gets in, it just completely malfunctioned. And we ended up replacing that, taking the cell phone booster antenna, broken one down, and I'm gonna end up having to order another one of those. But got that done, and while they were doing that, I also had the ABS checked out on my trailer. My trailer ABS light was coming on every once in a while, so they checked that, found a bad wire, got it fixed. While that was all happening, the customer that I was picking up the truck chassis from called and said they didn't think it was going to be ready, probably not till later this week. So I said, well, it is what it is. Let me see what I can do here. So I had this load. It was supposed to pick up yesterday morning, supposed to pick up on Tuesday morning. I had this combine load. So I'm like, well, I'll just, maybe I'll just see if I can find a short load, or I'll just bounce down there to New Holland, pick that thing up tomorrow morning. Well, then the agent for this load called me and said, they want to push that a day. I'm like, crap. So then I'm sitting there like, okay, well, now I got nothing to do until Wednesday. You see what I can do here. 10 minutes later, the agent that gave me this load, he called me and said, hey, I got one over in York. That's just a short run, York to Irwin, Pennsylvania. You want to do it? And I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I took that from him. That was a real quick, short, 11-foot wide load, no big deal. You'll see that here in a minute. But then the owner of A&H, he came out. He said, hey, I got this Kenworth that we had been talking about it for a couple weeks. I was supposed to take this Kenworth down to a frame shop. He bought a Kenworth and it needs some frame work done. So I was supposed to take it down to a frame shop to have them work on the frame. And he said, you want to take that truck down there? And I was like, well, when this guy asks me to do something, you just don't say no. I mean, that's just how this works. So I said, yeah, Bill, no problem. I'll make it happen one way or the other. Let's load it up and get it done. So we loaded that thing up, and that was a little bit of an event because obviously the fuel tank, it's going in for framework, so the fuel tanks are off of it, motors are not running. There's not even a driver's seat in it, which was hilarious, by the way, and you'll probably see it in the video. We had the owner's son, who's also basically one of the owners of A&H. he runs our shop, and we had him inside the truck trying to steer it while we were pulling it up on the trailer, and he had to sit on his knees in order to steer it, and it was kind of comical. But what we ended up doing there was we ended up pulling the truck with, we got our 3/4 1-ton, whatever the service truck is, hooked some chains to it, pulled the truck up onto the trailer. We just hooked chains and went right over the back of the trailer, and used the service truck to pull the Kenworth right up onto the trailer, and that went surprisingly smooth. We ended up, the truck didn't have enough strength to pull it up onto the front of my trailer to get the steer tires up on there, because it's pretty blunt. It's about an 8-inch tall blunt straight wall when them steer tires get there, so it didn't have enough strength to do that. So we ended up bringing a forklift out, picking up a little bit on the front end, and then giving it a little bit of help to get it up on the trailer. But really not a big deal. Got it up on there, and I ran that down to Southern Ohio Monday afternoon, delivered it at about 5:15 or so, and then I realized that York, Pennsylvania, from where my delivery was in Southern Ohio, was about 7 hours, and it was 5 o'clock there. So ended up having to run a split sleeper for a couple days here to make this work. But I ran till about 9 o'clock at night, heading over to York, parked it. Anybody knows that you can do a 7-3, well, not anybody, but in the trucking industry, we have what's called a 7-3 split, 8-2 split, 7-3 split. We can do a sleeper berth for portions of the day and be able to extend your day, basically, and make your day a little bit longer, as long as you're actually not doing anything. But what I did there was, because I wasn't doing anything at the shop for quite a while they were working on the truck, I went on sleeper berth there and did a split sleeper for that night. Ended up spending about 7 hours or so. I took the second part of the break for about 7 hours, got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, got rolling about 4 o'clock in the morning, and made it over to York to pick up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now the catch there was, because I did a 7-hour break in the evening, when I got to York, I had just enough hours to get there. I got there, I had to take a 3-hour break to complete a 10. So I took a 3-hour break after I got loaded, and that ended up giving me just enough time to make delivery on that in Irwin and get back here to New Holland to get this thing loaded this morning. So that's how we ended up here, man. It was a bit of a struggle. We did run that thing over to Irwin. It was just one of their frame sections that they use to tow the tanks around, the tank chassis around, or the frames around, so or bodies, I should say. It was just one of those, no big deal. Ran it to Irwin, got it delivered, made it there right when they right when they were getting ready to go home. I made it in there. That was that was great timing. That was sort of an event getting in there. There's not a very easy place to get to in Irwin, PA. So it was interesting. I should have filmed some of how I got in there. It was a struggle, but we got that done. Ran our little butt back over here to New Holland, PA, and that's where we're sitting right now, waiting to load this. I guess they got to fix an O-ring on this combine, and then they're gonna put it on a trailer. So this load here, it's going from New Holland, Pennsylvania, going to Charleston, Missouri. We got permitted. Obviously, we can't run a turnpike, so we permitted this thing down 81 out of here onto 68, which 68 isn't my favorite road. It's pretty hilly. When you got some weight on it, it'll add a half hour, 45 minutes to your life. But run down on 68, and we're gonna come up 79, run across 70, go straight across to Ohio on 70, catch 270 around Columbus. Obviously, we got to do those go rounds for the big cities. But then we're going into Indiana, basically straight across Indiana and into Illinois, and then we're gonna shoot down into Missouri. So looks like a pretty easy run. We're gonna see what happens. They're telling me this thing is 13 foot 8 inches wide without the tires on it. Surprised me. They're also telling me it's 52,000 pounds. Again, surprised me. And combines generally aren't that heavy, so I'm curious what this thing looks like, but stick around. We're gonna get this thing loaded here in a minute. All loaded up. We got out of there about, man, that took a little while. We got out of there at about, I don't know, it was about 11:30 or so. Got out of pickup on this combine. So I am currently at the rest area slash way station slash brake stop at the top of the hill in West Virginia, almost to 79 from 68. So figured I'd jump out here, show you the load. Been here for a few minutes, checking the brakes, doing all that gibberish. And I figured I'd jump out here and show you the load real quick. Let's do this. All right, so this is our baby right here. Case 9250 combine. Now this one is a little bit different than the rest. As you can see, she is enormous. This thing is one big combine. When the tires on, you can see the tires are both off. I don't have them with me, but when the tires are on, this thing was almost 22 foot wide with the tires on. So that is, it was sitting there and it just kind of dwarfed all the other ones, made them all look tiny. So she is coming in at 13 foot 8 inches wide without the tires on. Yeah. There we go. Hey man, have a good day. That's funny. But this thing is a little bit different because we are 13 foot 8 inches wide without the tires on. That's just to the axles. 13.8 wide, 12 foot tall. We're coming in exactly 13.5 overall on the trailer, which was really surprising to me. I looked up at that thing and I thought there is no way that thing's going to be legal height, but it is. So we're 13.8 wide, legal height. We're weighing in at, this thing weighs in at about 52,000 pounds, which is a lot more than any other combine I've ever hauled. They're all usually 28, 29,000 pounds. This thing is a lot heavier than that. I did ask the question on why it's heavier than that, and surprisingly, the answer I got was because it's different. Here's what we did for securement on this thing. 52,000 pounds. I took it all the way to the back like I always do. Always put it to the back as far as I can. Try to get the weight on the triaxle back there. Take some of the weight off my my drive tires. So that's what I did. I have not scaled it yet. I don't know, but I do know that on their scale at New Holland, at the plant, we were okay on their platform scale. So I'm gonna put it on a cat scale as soon as I get a chance to stop tonight. But what I did for securement on this thing is they got our tie down points right here. This one is way too weak to be using as a tie down point. So we used this tie down point right here. I got one chain running all the way across, another chain coming straight down to the trailer, one binder on each side. Flags, always got our flag. I'm not gonna pull on that thing in case it breaks. Got our flags on the outside of the load. Put a magnet flag on this one. Back here, what I did was I put my clevis in because there's no way I'm going to be able to get a chain to go through that hole without taking the hook off. So I put my clevises in, used that, ran one down to the side, wrapped one around the axle, came right down, did the same thing on that side, and then I got one additional chain in the center that you can't see. It's tucked way down underneath there. One additional chain down there, which gives us, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. Holding in 52,000 pounds. We've got to have 26,000 pounds of securement, so we are more than good there. That's about all she wrote. We got our Mr. Jason right there. He's our rear escort. As you know, at 13 foot 8 inches wide in every state that I'm going to be in, you got to have a rear escort. So he's a rear escort. The way escorts work is on a 4-lane highway where traffic's coming from behind you, they're a rear escort. And when you get on 2-lane highway and traffic's coming from in front of you, they are front escort. Their job is to warn traffic that you're there, try to get them out of the way, try to help you maneuver corners and maneuver around through hazards that are on the road and stuff. So Jason is a fantastic escort. Going to definitely be using him all the time in the future. He is a great guy, great escort, and we are getting the job done. So here's the other side. We're going to take a look real quick, and we're going to get back on the road because we got to get this bad bear delivered tomorrow. Same crew that loaded me at the plant is going to meet me down there at the delivery, and there's Ghost looking pretty good. They're going to meet me at delivery and take this thing off. So should be nice and easy, nice smooth run. I hope we'll get there tomorrow afternoon, get this thing taken off, and then I got kind of a goofy situation we'll talk about on the next episode. on what's coming up for the rest of the week to get me lined up to do what I got to do next week. So there you go. I'm gonna get back on the road and we will see you guys on the next one.